What up, Ninja family? It's your boy Scooter Ray, aka Scoot the Loop, and I am here to welcome y'all to another episode of the Car Chronicles reviews with the best and stuff ninjas. I'm running solo, but shouts out to the other 2/3, Ryan Miss Cosmic Boss, and I'm here to talk about WWE's Night of Champions. It got a little juicy. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? We gonna talk about it. We gonna discuss it. You know what I'm saying? We gonna break it all down because it was some good wrestling happening on with this show. First matchup, we get the World Heavyweight Championship. We're crowning a new champion. You know, Roman Reigns has had his chokehold on the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship, which collectively combined, it became the WWE undisputed World Heavyweight Champion of the Galaxy World. But they ran tournaments. You know, WWE is going through that tournament arc. They ran tournaments to determine who was going to be the first two to wrestle for the new World Heavyweight Championship, aka Big Gold 2.0. On the Raw side, Seth Rollins. On SmackDown side, AJ Styles. Now, for those who's been keeping up with wrestling, yes, this is a Raw Championship, but they had AJ Styles from SmackDown go for it. Funny enough, in the broadcast, they did mention if Styles would have won, he would have moved to Raw, because that was like the mystery. It was like, if this is a Raw Championship, why are we having a SmackDown star go for it? But they did say in the broadcast, if Styles would have won, he would have moved to Raw. Now, I don't know about the OC, but I mean, it's AJ Styles and Seth Rollins. I mean, these are two professionals. These are two guys, when it's game time and when it's go time, they knock it out the park. And that's what they did. Of course, there was some, I don't want to say bad press or juju going around that, you know, this match was first because of Seth Rollins' schedule. And, you know, there was other reports of WWE didn't know for sure if they were going to put the belt on Rollins and things like that. And it was like, it made no sense for y'all to even think to put the belt on anyone else, to even entertain. The only other person may be Cody, but we know Cody's story arc and where that's supposed to lead to. So it made no sense that it was even questioned that Rollins going to the finals put the belt on Seth. Like, if you're on YouTube and Spotify, you can see all the hand motions there. But yeah, banger of a match. There was no shenanigans, so we didn't have to worry about, you know, a heel doing things or anything. It was a fair and square, straight up fight. There was no OC interfering, or there was none of that. It was literally purely Styles, Rollins. Rollins came out on top. He is now the first World Heavyweight Champion. That's the way they're announcing it, that he's the first. Now, the beauty of this is going to be, we know how Seth Rollins is. He's going to come out Monday night and act a long fool. You know he's going to have the fit. He's going to have the drip. I don't know where they're at Monday, but you know that crowd is going to be just singing that man's praise. And it's well deserved. I mean, Seth has been putting in work. He only had got that one shot against Roman that ended in disqualification. He had time with the United States Championship. Seth has been putting in work and is well deserving. The fact that there was any doubt that they wanted to give it to Seth wows me. But he's going to be a great champion. And not only is he going to be a great champion, the beauty of it is that we see his competition, because if they're going to allow competition for him for both Raw and SmackDown, that's going to be great. But just seeing who he has on Raw alone, he has opportunities to put on bangers. And ultimately, it's going to be interesting to see. I know this is foreshadowing way ahead. Who's going to be the first to take it from Seth? Who's going to be the one? Because I feel whoever takes it from Seth, it won't be through normal means. I don't see a clean win from the person who takes it from Seth. I don't. But we shall see. But congratulations to Seth freaking Rollins, the visionary. He deserves it. I cannot wait to see him Monday night. I know he's going to act a plump fool. Raw is a 3-hour show. Give that man some time to act a fool. But congratulations to Seth freaking Rollins. Next up, grudge match. We got the man, Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. This match has been brewing ever since Trish betrayed Becky after their women's tag team title defense. And the Monday before Night of Champions, the shots they was throwing at each other, but it was the shots Becky was throwing at Trish. She was like, "You're just mad that you stayed the same. Everybody else evolved. You done things in this ring that I would never dream or dare to do. They had you on all fours barking like a dog." And she was like, "Wolf, bitch, wolf." Mrs. Ladybug and I was just sitting there like, well, hold on, we got to show it. We would the disrespect. And from that, we was like, Trish has to win. Just off the simple fact of how she was just disrespected like that. Pretty solid matchup. You can tell that I don't know, since they did draft Trish, since Trish was a draft pick, I don't know exactly how long she's going to still be active, but you could definitely tell she got opportunity to kind of train and practice more, because this match didn't seem, I don't want to say sloppy, it didn't seem as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going through the motions. Like, once again, like I mentioned before, you could definitely tell this isn't something she's still actively doing. And you could also tell it's like riding a bike. Once she gets back into the swing of things, she's good. And this match wasn't a bad match. It was very back and forth. There was a time where, kind of like a typical heel match where the heel takes over for a nice little amount of time, and then, the face tries to fight back, but the heel is like, nah, fam. Then eventually the face comes back and does what faces do. And ultimately, the match ends with Trish distracting the ref. Zoe comes from underneath the ring, hits the Z360 on Becky, throws her back in. Trish hits Stratisfaction. 1, 2, 3. Trish wins. Thank you, Trish. She wins, and her and Zoe looks like they have a little partnership, which I'm pretty sure we'll see on Raw. But looks like they have a little partnership brewing, and I'm pretty sure the man won't be too happy about that. But solid match, wasn't bad at all. good to see where this goes, and good to see that they got Zoe. That Zoe is only 3 weeks in, maybe a good month now in, and she's already gonna be in a feud involving. She's already in a feud that's with a Hall of Famer in Trish and a future Hall of Famer with Becky Lynch. So that let you know they seeing it for Zoe. They seeing it for Zoe, and that's a good thing because Zoe. For the people on audio, I'm giving thumbs up. Next match. I thought this was going to be more of a mauling than what it was. But we had Intercontinental Champion Gunther of Imperial versus Mustafa Ali. And Mustafa was coming in because he's thinking positive Ali. And, we got the ring general. The moment Mustafa won that Intercontinental Battle Royal #1 contenders, it was like, we need to go ahead and say a prayer for this man because he's going against Gunther. And it wasn't a bad match for the people who hear my wrestling reviews, whether it's on here or whether it's on tag. Shout out to my tag brethren, Lip Dizzle, Jaeger Bombastic, Juggernaut 097. So whether y'all hear it here or there, when I usually have title matches, when I usually talk about title matches, I always says sometimes it doesn't feel like a title was going to change. And never in this match did I feel Gunther was going to lose. There was never nothing that gave the indication Gunther might lose this, y'all. I mean, yeah, they gave Ali his time to kind of get his licks in and do some things and to inspire, give some hope. But never did I think that Ali was going to be there because Gunther still has never taken a pinfall loss. So whoever they booked to have Gunther take that pinfall loss is going to be something major. It's going to be something major. But eventually, I love Gunther's style because Gunther has a technical finisher now with the Last Symphony, but I always love that he could just beat you with moves because he has the power bomb. He could technically, if it was me, Gunther can chop me one time and I'm down for the rest of the match. The first move could be his chop. I'm not getting up. That's gonna be your boy. They're like, hey, this is supposed to be a 6-minute match. No, it ain't. Did you not hear that man just chop me? Because when Gunther chops you, you can hear it. Did you not hear the chop? You think I'm supposed to last another 5.5 minutes? He can hit me now. This is it. I'm done. On the ground, just like this. Or probably just like this. Holding my chest. I'm there. But yeah, shout out to Ali for, putting up with it. And putting up that good fight. But Gunther still remains Intercontinental Champion. And, plus he did get the hometown. He did get the love from his people because, Mustafa is from Chicago. But he did get the love for the Saudi Arabia crowd. And, they was rallying behind. But they all knew. I mean, it's Gunther. Next match, Raw Women's Championship. Bianca Belair versus Asuka. Funny thing about this is both of these are SmackDown superstars, which that whole thing still questions. I mean, not questions. It still is kind of like, well, what's supposed to happen with this situation because they're. But now I have a feeling they're probably gonna almost pre-spoil it before I got there. But yeah, they're both SmackDown superstars. But Rhea on Raw with the SmackDown title, and Bianca's on SmackDown with the Raw Women's title. So yeah, but this was Asuka's rematch from WrestleMania. You know, her trying to get her get back. You know, she's trying to get her get back from when, you know, she lost at WrestleMania. Because they didn't run it back at Backlash because she fought I forgot who Bianca fought at Backlash. Oh, Io Sky. That was a good match. That was a good match. But yeah, you know, Bianca is now the longest reigning Raw Women's Champion the longest reigning Women's Champion of the modern era. So, pretty solid match. Now, if I had eggs in baskets, it would have been 50-50 because, you know, on the tag side, we do our little predictions to see who's prediction champion. I originally chose one side, but then I backdoor and chose the other side, and I was wrong. But it's okay. You know what I'm saying? You win some, you lose some, but you live to predict another day. You live to predict another day. Midway through the match, Asuka went for the mist, and she missed. Then she did some clever heel stuff because they noticed her fingers were taped. So at some point in the match, she was on the apron, and she sprayed the mist on her fingers. And when Bianca tried to go for the KOD, she took said fingers, rubbed it all in Bianca's eyes. Boom. Kick to the back of the head. Wow. Another kick to the back of the head. 1, 2, 3, and new Raw Women's Champion, Asuka. And it was like, okay. Now, with Bianca not being champion, now I could potentially see them doing the belt swap. I could now see Rhea and Asuka swapping titles, and then boom, Asuka's gonna be SmackDown Women's Champion, Rhea's gonna be Raw Women's Champion. I can see it now. And yeah, I did kind of give a spoiler to the to the next women's title match, but trust, it ain't that much of a spoiler. But yeah, Asuka's the new champ, and we'll see how Bianca responds. Maybe they might run it back at Money in the Bank. We shall see. But next up, the aforementioned match, Rhea Ripley, SmackDown Women's Championship. Rhea Rips, Natalia. This match kind of just happened for the sake of Rhea. You know, she's kind of being a bully, and Natalia was like, "Well, I don't like the way you're bullying people and things like that." And Rhea was like, "Are you really trying to help others, or are you really trying to do for yourself? It seems like mainly you're trying to do for yourself, but if you really want a title match that bad, I give you your issue. If you really want these problems, Natty, I give you these problems." And those problems she gave, because literally, I'm not lying to y'all. I literally looked down, looked up, match was over. And I was like, okay. Yeah, literally, it was a squash match. Like, I think Natalia may have got a few little hits in here and there, but for the most part, it was squash. I know they showed that Dominic somewhat interfered, but he didn't need to at all. And Rhea still your women's champion on SmackDown. That's on Raw. Hopefully they fix that soon enough. Next up, Big Brock Lesnar versus the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Of course, Brock is big pissed that Cody snuck out with the dub at Backlash, and you know, Not only that, but Cody messed up his face, and Brock wants his dub back. He wants his dub back. Now, the caveat going into this match, Monday on Raw, Brock fractured Cody's arm with a kick. Yeah, I think it was a kick. Popped against Cody's arm. They said it's fractured. So now it was like, well, Cody, what you gonna do with a broken arm? Cody was like, I'm still going to fight. So I'm the American actor, not believing myself. And it was like, all right, bet. It wasn't a bad match, but you could kind of see it go either way. I predicted Cody. It wasn't so. Of course, they was going off of the whole Brock was going after Cody's arm with the Kimura. But it was funny because he was going after the arm, but it was this that was broken, so it wasn't like he was doing like any submissions. It was really, because Kimura, but y'all get it. And then at some point in the match, Cody realized, I can use my cast as a weapon. So he was using the cast for like punches and things like that. But for the most part, they let you believe at times that Cody could do it because he hit a couple of crossroads and things like that. But ultimately, Brock made Cody pass out. So Brock got the technical submission. He made Cody pass out from the Kimura. The pain was so great that Cody was just like, ugh. I know y'all like that. Brock gets the dub. Now, excuse me. Do they have their tiebreaker in Money in the Bank? Because at some point, they got to have a tiebreaker. Guess when Cody's 100% or something. I don't know. But they're 1-1. And now it's time for the main event. We have the undisputed tag team champions, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, versus Solo Sikoa and WWE undisputed champion of the Galaxy World, Roman Reigns. Now, of course, the Usos lost their titles to KO and Zayn at Mania. Roman is pissed that they was never recaptured back when the Usos had the rematch. Excuse me, sorry. I can't do none of these reviews without one yawn. At least one. So they pulled a fast one and was like, well, hey, the tag team titles will come back to the bloodline, but Roman and Solo would do it. And it was like, oh, what? And of course, just the absurd nature of the fact that Roman could have been walking around with 4 championships would have been a thing to see. And I wanted that to happen so bad. Especially after the SmackDown before Night of Champions where Roman held up the title. It was like, this would have been amazing visual to see. But this was Zayn's first time being in Saudi Arabia. So he had the Papa Pops. I can't remember if it was KO's first time. If it was forever ago. I can't remember, but it was a pretty solid match. Once again, y'all know how I do these things. If you don't, I'll tell you. At times, it felt like a title change, and at times it didn't. Because, you also had the underlying storytell of the bloodline showing cracks. And And Roman has been kind of treating the Usos a little dirty. And even KO and Zayn have been like, Usos, stop being stupid. Roman don't care about y'all. Why y'all, like, he's mistreating y'all? And more time has passed. You've been starting to see Jimmy kind of being a little anti-authority. And, you know, Jay has kind of been the peacemaker between. And so you just kind of felt something. Something didn't. Somehow they say something didn't smell right in Denmark. And when the ref took the bump, that's when things got real. The Usos came out. They started beating up on KO and Zayn. And then they accidentally double super kicked Solo. And Roman saw it. Roman was pissed. And he was shoving him. And then after he was shoving him and talking his trash, Jimmy super kicked the shit out of Roman. And Jay was sitting there like, what are you doing? What are you doing? That is the cheat. I cannot believe you just did what you did to the tribal chief. And Jimmy was like, I'm your brother. We're in this together. And I'm doing the thing you should have did a long time ago. And when Roman sat up, gave him another smooth super kick straight to the, just another smooth super kick straight to the face. And they got out of there while Jay was looking conflicted. Jimmy knew what he was doing. Paul Heyman was distraught. He was distraught. Solo was out. The next thing you know, Roman was done. Solo gets back in there. Solo takes a stunner. Solo takes a haluva kick. All of that. 1, 2, 3. Zayn and KO retain. Roman's on the outside looking like WTF just happened. Why did this just happen? Oh, it's going to be hell. So, can't wait till Friday to see how this takes place. But Jimmy Oofs, he made his choice. He made his decision. I'm done. Tribal chief, all that. I'm done. We'll see what happens going forward. We'll see if it leads to a Usos versus Reigns and Solo, and ultimately, will Solo be like, hey, they're my brothers at the end of the day. We'll see what happens. The bloodline is starting to crack even more. You know, when Zayn left, now we got this whole thing with Usos. Oh yeah, it was some exciting stuff. Overall, Night of Champions was not a bad show. Other than Natalia getting squashed, which it makes sense, it's Rhea Ripley. The Brock and Cody being on the side of the fence you on, but the Zayn Owens versus Bloodline, Asuka Bianca, oh my God, I literally just forgot both of their names. Seth Rollins and AJ Styles. It was actually a pretty solid night of wrestling. It was not bad at all. Night of Champions was not bad at all. If you got Peacock or whatever means, check it out. Check it out because, you know, their Saudi shows have gotten a lot better. We all know how their Saudi shows was in the beginning, but it ain't like that no more. They putting on shows out there. They putting on shows. But that's my take. That's my views on Night of Champions. Once again, shout outs to the 2/3 of the ninjas, Run Your Myth, Cosmic Boss. Be on the lookout for more CCRs. Be on the lookout for taste tests. Thank y'all for tuning in. Whether you loved it or hated it, don't forget to rate it. Thumbs up, thumbs down, preferably thumbs up. Like, subscribe, share. Hit that notification bell to let you know when we post videos, because we got mad CCRs coming down the pipeline. You know, this is a busy month. You know, we got movies, we have events, mad CCRs coming. So tune in. Shout out once again to my tag brethren. And tag, that's the other family that I'm a part of, and that's primarily wrestling side. So if you ever want pure wrestling takes, whether it's more technical and everything, go on over to the tag side. The Average Gamers, aka Tag, Lip Bizzle, myself, Jaeger Bombastic, Juggernaut097. Check us out over there as well. Thank y'all for tuning in, and until next time, us ninjas, we're just trying to make our ninja village proud. Peace.